It is the end of an era for one of the state's longest-serving Democratic leaders. Wake County Democrat Dan Blue will no longer lead the Senate Minority Caucus. The Democrats chose a new leader last night in an unexpected twist. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie joining us now with how all of this unfolded, Laura.
Ashley, it's never a dull moment around here. Wake Democratic Senator Sidney Batch will become the Senate new minority leader. She'll be the first woman to ever lead a Democratic caucus in either chamber in this body. She was chosen unanimously in a private meeting last night that some are describing as a caucus coup. It can be frustrating to be in a minority party, but few were expecting longtime state Senate Minority Leader Dan Blue to fall victim to that frustration, including Blue, who expected to be reelected.
It was a really tough day for someone who's had a long career.
Senator Greg Meyer says Blue is an historic figure. He was the first black Speaker of the House in North Carolina and served for decades in the state House and Senate. But Meyer said younger caucus members were ready for generational change, so Blue withdrew before the election.
You've been around the legislature 40 years. You know how to read the room and count the votes. And so when we got to that moment, he made the decision to say that the most important thing to him was for us to move forward as a unified caucus working together as Democrats, and that he would step aside.
New Minority Leader Sidney Batch has served 2 terms in the Senate and 1 in the House. As Deputy Senate Leader this term, she considers Blue her mentor. She takes issue with those who called her victory a coup.
There's a lot of division and people saying a lot of things, but I was voted by acclamation. I had 100% of the support of my caucus, and I think that shows our unity.
Batch says she'll emphasize early investments in candidates and better communications and social media, something she says her caucus is asking for.
Making sure that we have a really bold approach to how we communicate outside of the building. There's a lot of noise that happens in Raleigh, but it doesn't actually get carried across the state.
Senator Blue did not respond to our request for an interview, but said in a statement last night that he is, quote, excited to pass the torch to Batch. In the meantime, Senate Republicans stayed with their longtime Senate leader, Phil Berger. Laura Leslie, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.